Yeah.
Finally got something.
All right. Good in front of you.
No, you're fine.
Hi, good morning. I'm Brenda. Hi, I'm Brenda. Oh, well, you'll be easy. I'll never forget your name. Actually.
Billy, how's Harley?
It's kind
Yes.
of I don't
I remember when we made that drive like 3 years ago. We did drive. Harley GPS when we were in Louisiana. It was like all these curvy roads.
I know they are.
All right, good morning, everybody. Welcome to MSF. Good morning. Please silence your cell phones and pagers, fax machines. Feed your carrier pigeons so they don't coo in the meeting. We're excited that you're here, and so we're going to start by welcoming our visitors. We've got a few visitors this morning, and I think they're all actually at this table. So we'll start with Eric. Just stand up, say what company you're with, and later in the meeting you'll give a 60-second commercial about your business.
Hello, my name is Eric Kaczynski. I'm with Tulsa Marketing Online. So, yeah, we do online marketing and websites, basically along those lines. So I'll give details later.
Yeah, fantastic.
I'm Caleb. I'm a PC technician. I just do basic computer repair. Anything to do with software, I can do that as well. Set up routers, modems, just the basic. Set up printers, inkjet, just anything to do with technician. Yeah.
Go ahead. All right, now oh, Curtis, I don't see you as a visitor.
Curtis.
Curtis Miller, started my own chapter. We're meeting this Thursday at 7 at All About Chaw. So we're going to have a couple people there and try to get a lot of visitors.
Where is that?
71st in Aspen.
There is one downtown.
Yeah.
There is one downtown. Make sure you don't go down. I think we have one extra seat there. We have one there too. So.
And then
Right.
take the seats.
Oh, it's big. Yeah. Oh, it's big. Yeah. Okay, good. All right. So we'll have the leadership team introduce themselves. I'm Emmanuel Earl as president.
Nancy Miller, Vice President.
Willis Wilson, visitor host.
Josh Jones, Secretary Treasurer.
Brenda Bland, Visitor Host.
Michael Trupia, education.
He's it.
I think that's it.
Yuri Holloway, Chaplain.
Yeah.
There we go. Wonderful. All right. All right, so I've asked Michael Trupia to give the overview of MSF, and he's also going to do the team training, so it'll probably kind of flow together. So,
All right.
Michael Trupia.
All right. Thank you.
Hey, Michael!
Thank you. You know, the purpose of my sales force is to not work for you, but to work for each other. So when we get up and we start our work weeks each week, when we look for referrals for people inside our chapter, that's only when the referrals come back to you. So ultimately, it's not about you and what you get, it's about you and what you give by working for each other in the room. So if you want to grow your business and make more money for yourself, well, the nature is to just get up and help other people. So the more you help, the more you will receive. Pretty simple. Thank you. What Nancy's created, we'll take a look just at Billy, for example. His question would be, if you see or hear a fence is fading or sun bleached, I go jogging through my neighborhood, you see that there's a sun bleached, faded fence, and your neighbor's standing out in front of that yard, you have an opportunity to have a response to that. And a good response to that would be and I'll allow each and everyone to read that themselves, but I see you have a beautiful home, I've got a great friend that can help take care of your fading fence. It's just conversation. So as you go back into your own business, the most success you have is when you just sit down and conversate with your clients. Same thing with people in the neighborhoods, people on the streets. When you're talking to people, here's examples for you to create conversation and make referrals for your members inside your sales force.
Awesome.
Thank you.
Wonderful. Wonderful. All right. All right. If you already have it, please pass out your business card, especially visitors. We want to make sure that we know who you are, and you probably need 25 or 30 today, so make sure you pass out enough. And if you don't have a copy of the chapter newsletter, make sure you have a copy of that. That has everyone's contact information on it. So our business cards are also in the box. If you're in the chapter, you can add your business card to the box. If you're not in the chapter, just pass your card around. However, we want to hear from you, and everyone's name, number, address information is on the newsletter, as well as the numbers, okay? So, now we're going to do our 60-second commercials, and this is one of the most important parts of the meeting. This is where we all get a chance to give a 60-second blip on our business and what we are looking for in referrals this week. And once all the members have gone, then the visitors will go after, and you'll also give a 60-second commercial for your business. So we'll start on this side of the room with Donnie.
Hey, Donnie. Hey, Donnie.
Good morning.
Good morning.
Hey,
Here we go.
Uh-oh. Lick my finger.
Firewall.
Firewall. So I noticed it's on my list here. So the firewall is the thing that helps business owners and IT people with communication. And they funnel it through the firewall, and the firewall knocks out all the bad stuff. So if you have, it also restricts people from getting onto things that they're not supposed to on their PC at work. So did you know that 73% of people play on the internet during work time? Sorry. Lights out. Here we go. Turn it back on. So I'm looking for people who have security problems. If they got people jacking around on the internet when they shouldn't be and they should be working, that's what we take care of. So take a good look for that this week. Thank you. Donnie with Copy Touch.
He's a hard act to follow. Hi, I'm Hal Narodsky with Everson. You know, actually, this is great. This, you probably heard of it. This is a Yeti-like cooler. It is going to keep stuff cold. You could probably hold a match under it until I burn my finger. It should keep drinks cold for 12 hours, hot for the same amount of time, or 5 minutes standing next to Donnie. Obviously, you can have your logo on it. So that is the hottest new item in the promotional products industry this year. And we have it in a 32 ounce and a 20 ounce. This is the 32 ounce, and this will keep me hydrated all day. And another item that I think is great, everybody has seen the card holder that goes on the back of their phone. It's been out for a few years in a rubber or silicone, but we've upgraded it. This is leather-like. And actually, this is a metaphor for our company. You have the normal promotional product, we have it, but if you want something just a little bit better, come to Aberson, Narodsky & White branded products. And I'm going to pass these out. I don't know if I have enough for the whole group, so if we run out, if some of the members could not take one, I'll bring another one back next week.
Oh, cool. Thank you. Love that.
Good morning, I'm Rick, First Choice Heat and Air. Have any of you ever heard somebody complain about having to have their air conditioning serviced every year, put Freon in every year? Well, the old units are getting very expensive to put Freon in now because it's up to $80 to $100 a pound for Freon. And a normal unit would use about 5 pounds of Freon or more. So if you're leaking Freon out and you have to put 5 pounds of Freon in there every year, you're looking at probably $500 to $600 just to get your air conditioning going up each year. And it's not going to get better, it's only going to get worse. So we have a real good, I would say 99.9% success rate on finding leaks in the Freon systems. So if you hear somebody complaining about having to put Freon in every year, have them give us a call and we can take care of it. Thank you.
All right, Josh Jones, now A Construction, general contractor holding the roofing seat. Any good lead I'm looking for right now is anyone who thinks they have hail damage. I'll come out and visit any house for free. I'll meet with adjusters. I know pretty much all of them. Steve's becoming a pretty good buddy of mine. So we, between your referrals and Brenda's 900 houses, I've got a pretty relationship. But that helps me truly be an advocate for the homeowner and the liaison between the insurance companies and the homeowner. So I'm not trying to steal from the homeowner, or I mean the insurance agent, but I'm also not just trying to, you know, throw a roof on that doesn't need to be there. So Donnie's a perfect example. He's kind of on that edge, and we got his insurance involved, and we got a plan on that roof. So anybody you know who thinks they have damage, that'd be a great referral for me. Josh Jones, now A Construction.
I'm Billy Swanson, professional painting too. A good referral for me would be somebody that has a big deck or home needs to be painted, interior or exterior. Do repairs on decks and homes, replace siding and trim and stuff. So if you know of anybody that needs that, have them give me a call. Billy Swanson, professional painting too.
Let's see if I can squeeze through here. Good morning.
Good morning.
Thank you. I'm Brenda Bland with the Bland Grant Home Team and Keller Williams Realty. I am so thrilled to be here this morning, and thank you for getting up early and being here to pass business to one another. This morning, a good referral for me is, who do you know who pays rent? If someone pays rent and they have a good job, you know, they've been on their job for more than, you know, a little bit, they're probably a good candidate to buy a house. And my passion is first-time home buyers. I don't make a lot of money off of first-time home buyers, do we, Nancy? But if you can figure out who pays rent that has a good job, that you know, they've been renting a while and they're not happy, you know, there's so many benefits to home ownership. So have them call me. I will have them call Nancy, or have them call Nancy, and Nancy will have them call me, either way. And we will get them pre-approved for mortgage and get them in their first house. I'm Brenda Bland with the Bland Grant Home Team and Keller Williams Realty.
You're at Holloway with advanced massage therapy where you need to be needed. One of the most sought after for a massage therapist is people with neck and shoulder pain. There could be several reasons for that. One could be stress, one could be posture, or just a repetitive motion in their job, like answering the phone all the time with their neck hanging with the phone on it. So if you know anybody that has under stress, know anybody who has bad posture and complaining about neck and shoulders, have them come and see me and we'll get them fixed right up. I love neck and shoulder work. I actually spend most of my time doing neck and shoulders. So you're at Holloway with advanced massage therapy where you need to be needed.
Good morning, I'm Nancy Miller with U.S. Mortgage, and I've been doing real estate loans for over 25 years. And I'm going to tell you a story today about a couple that came to me, and they had come to their realtor already pre-approved with a local bank. And the local bank told them the maximum they could qualify for was $150,000. But they found it, and the realtor had tried to make them come to me in the beginning, but they said they wanted to use their local bank. So they were very, very hesitant, but they found a house they wanted for $175,000, and they couldn't qualify. So they kept looking, and they couldn't find any other houses that measured up to that house. And they felt like they could afford the payment, but the bank just said that they wouldn't approve them for the loan. So reluctantly, they came to me because in their mind, they thought the bank was the way to go. And I immediately got them approved for $175,000. And they bought the house they wanted, because otherwise they would have been living in the $150,000 house, thinking about the $175,000 house that they loved versus one that they just liked. So if you know anybody who's looking to buy a house, have them call me, Nancy Miller with U.S. Mortgage.
Well, good morning. I'm Rex with Rex Electric, and no worries turning on that switch. This morning, just before getting here, I had a special meeting with a homeowner because the sheetrockers are coming in. They wanted one more change, so we're in there this morning getting that one more change done. But what I'm excited about this morning, I just received my next shipment of the whole house surge protectors, and they've upped their game. I'm so excited about this because it was $1,500 per occurrence. It's now $2,500 per item that they'll fund the money to. Also, it's now, instead of $20,000, it's now $50,000 worth of coverage per occurrence for the whole house. So, and you do not have to claim on insurance. Michael Trupia, insurance agent, will tell you that's a big deal because then your rates don't go up. So, whole house surge protection, we're coming into that season with tornadoes and storms. It'll protect every appliance in your house, AC units. Also, just want to mention that if you know somebody that has a portable generator and wants that hooked up, I've got a discount pricing on that this time too. Rex Electric, no worries, turning on that switch.
Good morning, I'm Dr. Liz Thomas with Southern Hills Veterinary Hospital. A good referral for me this week, kind of like Brett, is anyone who has a dog that needs preventative care. Super important in our veterinary patients because they don't talk to us and tell us what's wrong with them. And a good example of that is a golden retriever that I see named Henry. He came in, he has the best owner, and she's like, yeah, let's do blood work. We especially recommend yearly blood work for our senior pets because they have changes that, like I said, they can't tell us about. So we send off blood work and I get it back, and he has early markers of kidney disease. He's not showing any clinical signs at all, and he feels great. You know, everything's awesome for him. So we get him on a special kidney diet, a special food, and then he also goes to acupuncture and water treadmill to promote healthy kidney balance. So everything's preventative, right? Acupuncture is a thing for pets. But just getting them, you know, if we can identify any problems, you know, sooner, that gives you a longer, you know, duration of time with your beloved fur baby. So thank you.
Things I never thought I'd hear. So that's wonderful. Good morning, everybody. Emmanuel Earls with Primerica Life Insurance. How much life insurance do you need? That's a question I always get. There's kind of two extremes. One is people think they need just enough for a funeral, and the other extreme is people think it's to win the lottery, you know, $50 million policy. Well, neither are true. Probably the easiest formula that you can use is a multiple of 10 of your income. So the average household income in America right now is just under $50,000. So let's say there's one breadwinner in the family and that person's making $50,000. At a multiple of 10, how much life insurance would they need? $500,000. Now, if there is a lot of debt, if there are other factors, maybe special needs child or things like that, that amount can substantially go up. But if you know anybody, especially the people you care about the most, family members, close friends, send them my way. We'll take care of them. Emmanuel Earls, Primerica Life Insurance.
Good morning again. I'm Michael Trupia with Country Financial. Good referral for me would be if you look at people's business cards as you're going about your day and you see LLC on that card. Those would be great people for me to meet and to talk to. It stands for Limited Liability Company, right? Most business owners are worried about growing their business and they're not being approached and understanding what their liability protection needs to be. So the more you presumably make, more liability you need. So if you have a relationship with somebody that owns a company and has an LLC, those would be great individuals for me to meet. Thank you.
I'm Scott Smith, for Carpet Smith Carpet Cleaning, and thank you, Liz, for fur babies. I haven't heard that before. No, if you've got fur babies at home, I'll be happy to come over and vacuum it up, get it clean, make it smell good, patching, seaming, stretching, in case you lock them in a room and they try to dig their way out. And everything I have is pet friendly. So you can get it on you, the pets, the kids. It won't cause a rash or an allergy. And I always say, I have asthma, so I don't use anything that sets me off. So I'll be very pet friendly and good for the kids. Call me, Curtis Carter.
My name is Brandon Gaffney. I do graphic design and photography and videography. One thing that referral that you guys can help me out with is stuff like this. I think you guys kind of get to see it in action today, which is probably pretty helpful. I have a lot of equipment, drones, and things like that. So, weddings are great videography referrals for me for sure. People do a lot of photography, but you get those stills only. It's really nice to kind of have the whole video, and I edit. This isn't something I normally do, it's just kind of film the whole thing. Normally what I do is take bits and pieces of it and put it together in a nice, cool little video that you can have, and people will actually, like when you, especially for weddings, you kind of have like a 15-minute video, and it's really kind of consumable to the average person. This is more informative towards, like you're actually trying to teach somebody something. But that would be really great for me. People that that are getting married, like, have you thought about videoing it? It'd be really awesome. But drone, I can throw in drones and stuff like that, so you get footage of the whole event venue if it's outside, especially. So, Brandon Gaffney with Brandon Creative and videography, and graphic design, and the whole 9 yards. So, thank you.
We get to introduce our visitors, so we'll start with Curtis. You get a 60-second presentation. Those of you with Primerica, you probably don't all have to give your 60-second because it's all the same, but say who you are and maybe a little bit about why you're doing what you're doing. That'd be good. So, Curtis.
I'm Curtis Miller with Primerica Life Insurance. Started up my own chapter, like I said, meeting it'll start off for the first couple weeks, Thursdays at 7 a.m., 70-person Aspen at All About CHA. And so our first meeting will be this week, looking to get 20 people there, hopefully. I already have a few people that are going to be members, so try to get a lot of guests out there, anyone that you guys know that's in your same profession, maybe that you work with, coworker, or any business owner, anyone you know that you guys might already have someone in that profession in this group, then you guys can send them over to our group. First meeting is this Thursday, 7 a.m., so anyone you guys know that's looking to build their business by referral, like you guys.
Awesome. Hello. Good morning. My name is
Good morning.
My name is Eric Jasinski with Tulsa Marketing Online. Be found online every time. That's our catchphrase. Something that we take care of, anything with website creation all the way through advertising online. We do a lot of that work. And a good example of something that we've been working with is a company that we've been making happy that's just been seeing an increase in sales. You may be familiar with, it is the Elephant Trunk, and they had a website that basically had all of their products ready to sell. They just didn't know, they were getting a lot of local business because they didn't know locally who the Elephant Trunk is. They just weren't getting any other business from outside that. So we were able to take Google AdWords, point it to the site, and start getting them sales from all around the country. So a good referral for me would be somebody that is trying to get either phone calls or actual service or product sales on their site. If they're not making money from their site, that is a great referral for us. So my name again is Eric Jasinski, Tulsa Marketing Online.
Cool.
My name's Andy Miller. A good referral for me would be the same as Emmanuel, pretty much. But I'm trying to start a new chapter here on Thursdays at 7. No, Wednesdays. Wednesdays at 7 here, and so anyone you guys know who's in your same profession, like Cody said, anyone you know who's in the same profession as you that you're hoping to expand and do business by referral would be good for me. Thank you.
Good morning again. So my group planning to meet on Thursdays at 11 to 12:30, and I'm still honing in on a location in 91st in the Yale area. So I'm focusing on like South Tulsa, and duplicate of others I'm looking for. I have a few folks that are locked in, but please send anyone in your industry or profession my way would be great. So I've been in Primerica for about 1.5 years. Worked for corporate America before that, and just love what I do to help families get out of debt and save for retirement. Thank you.
I'm Caleb Broussard, PC technician. A good referral for me would be anybody looking for they really don't know what they're doing on the computer. They have kids to get on, get viruses on it. Just as you know, Donnie said. I install firewalls, anything to do with speeding up the computer, whether it's testing the RAM, you know, if it's bad or not, or you want to install an SSD to speed up the computer's boot time, anything, just generally a fixed computer. I'm Caleb with PC Tweaker, and yeah.
Yeah, that's a lot easier.
Yeah.
Like my fellow associates have said, and even this guy, we do work with families to help shorten debt times and actually have proper life insurance coverage. And story time, I sat down with a client who fairly well off, and we sat through the debt elimination process of our company. We took them from not being able to get out of debt ever to getting out of debt in under 8 years. And the wife cried, and that's when it clicked for me. I really want to go out and help families prepare for what's coming later in life. So that is what I do. And I am looking at starting my own chapter just like the rest of them. But if you guys know anybody, I was formerly in the painting industry, so I know painters, realtors, roofers, stuff like that I'll be reaching out to that can actually help fit your guys' needs as well. So thank you guys for your time.
Great job, everybody. Now we're going to have the Vice President report, Nancy Miller.
This month, so far, we have passed $45,019 in business.
Yeah.
And we've passed 59 referrals.
Yay.
Year to date, we have passed $298,356 in referrals, so that's almost $100,000 a month. Good job. Keep doing that. We've done 19 social media posts, so we need to keep trying to do those. Everybody get a little bit better about reporting those and about repeating the social media posts. And interviews, we've done 24, so we're doing pretty good on that. The outside interviews, good job, guys.
Awesome. Okay, so just a quick update on some of the professions that we're looking for. We are looking for an accountant, so if you know a good accountant, let us know they're done with, personal income tax season, which is probably their biggest season, so that's a good referral now. They're slowing down. Personal trainers, hairdressers, salon, plumber, home health, web marketing, interesting, chiropractor, pest control, and pretty much anybody that you know that's going to be able to refer you business. So please invite them to the chapter or one of the chapters that's starting up. Now we get our report from our treasurer announcing our 2 speakers for today, as well as the speakers for the next 6 weeks. So Josh Jones.
I'm speaking today.
Oh, nice.
And Brittany, is Brittany not here?
She's not here.
Oh, so I need to introduce you. Sit down. That's awesome. He's always introducing everybody else. Okay. Thank you, Nancy. This is interesting. Josh Jones, good friend of mine from Bixby. His business is called 918 Construction. You see the trucks everywhere. They're doing a lot of good stuff. He's been in business for 8 years, so not new at this at all. He lives in Bixby, but the business is also based in Bixby. Profession is roofing, general contracting, and everything construction. Previous types of jobs: bartending, pool service, VP of sales, family info, spouse, not anymore, never again, smiley face. So that's good. We get the point. This is great. Children, Maddie, who's 11, and her and Caitlin, they're both high up in gymnastics, right? I see that they're getting like gold medals and stuff. It's awesome. Animals, Stella, the black lab. I love it. That's good. Hobbies, he's an Ironman competitor. That's a big deal. Favorite food, we share this, sushi. That's wonderful. Favorite color, black. Something no one knows about me, he's a licensed yoga instructor. That's awesome. What I'm proud of, he's proud of raising 2 beautiful girls all by himself. He's a wonderful father. Something nice he's done for somebody else. He changed a tire for a woman after a Bixby cop drove right past her. Classic. My keys to success: take risk. Without risk, there's no reward, and never say no. The best places for other professionals to find me: business, insurance agents, and realtors. Give a great big hand to Josh Jones.
All right, so now Noway Construction. We were started as a roofing company. There are over 1,600 in Oklahoma. We have branched out into general contracting for 2 reasons. Excuse me. One is that when you work, most damage claims have more items than just the roof. So people think just the roof, but it's the gutters, the screens, the AC fins on the condenser units get hit by hail. All these trades come in, and then so you end up really general contracting the whole project on a small scale. But because we're not storm chasers, like many, I mean, there are companies that are already, I know personal friends that live in Dallas right now because they've been blasted so bad in the last 3 months. He'll make $500,000 in the next 6 months. I'm not moving my kids to Dallas, or I'm not moving away from my kids for 6 months. So, and Tyler, who many of you know, is the same way. His kids are here. So that's why we got into general contracting. We have 918 Outdoor. Really, we do everything but swimming pools. So I've got one right now that was a referral from Nancy for a possible bathroom extension, and which is great because it just trickles down. Rex did the electric yesterday. I had Rick and Brett out there to fix an HVAC system that now they're going to probably replace the whole thing in this coming week. So that turned out to be a really good referral. You know, it went from $500 to 17 grand. So but I love doing stuff like that. I wish I had a picture of that because it looks like a playground in this, you know, $800,000 South Tulsa house. It's just, it's all concrete pouring out and everything. Rex had fun playing in it yesterday. But given the time of the year, I'm going to talk about roofing specifically. We take a lot of pride on doing it right. Like I said, 1,600 roofing companies, you have to set yourself apart. And it's not just price. I mean, you get what you pay for at the end of the day. There's this nomenclature that people will just eat your deductible. Well, you're paying for that one way or the other. Generally, it's shoddy work and cheap supplies. So there's only so much money. While it's $1 billion business, it is because there's crazy storms, not because there's so much margin. So these people that are eating deductibles, they're finding that money somewhere else. So I was going to kind of show you some things. First, I took some pictures of jobs. I'll pass these around. These are all actually came from the group. I've got pictures on top of pictures, and you alone, I've got a lot of pictures. But this is a house. There's 2 here. This is one that Nancy sent me. These are those 203K loans. So you can see how rough this house looks. I mean, this is like tarp because you could fall through the roof. The pictures don't do it justice. This house was falling apart.
There's a hole in the roof under that tarp
Oh yeah.
that you can fall through?
Yeah. I didn't get on that roof. I took an aerial, hit it out. And then that's what it looked like when I was done.
Wow.
This is the same one, a different hole in the roof. So I'll just shoot these around. Little things we do, I mean, here's a perfect example. This is a house we did last week. We were on the roof, the chimney was all rotted out. So we fixed it. You know, a lot of people don't, why, you're not paying me for that. Well, that cost me like $40. You know, but we just do it and the homeowner doesn't even know about it. But when the inspector gets up there, typically there's an inspection after when there's on full replacement roofs. They're going to come back and look at it and make sure everything's done. And when they do, they want to see that it's done right, that all the code items that I submit for were actually installed. You know, and items like that, that's just really that. And I mean, that was a small cost, but that was potentially saved a leak, because if that chimney would have leaked, what are they going to think? It's the roof. And it's not the roof, it's the chimney. But, I don't want to be there like, well, you should have paid me for the chimney. Here's one of Brenda's bathrooms. not her personal one, but a home, a rental property. This picture's dark because there was no power and it was gross, but wow. That's what yeah. And then here's another one. This was a referral from a referral from a referral in the group. This was, I just did this one last weekend. This is out in Bristow. So that's, and then they went with a metal roof. So that's what, we do metal, we do everything. And that was a cool one. So we're actually getting ready to paint that house. Now, this is what they call a 3-tab. This is, you just see they're like 12-inch strips along the house. A lot of the older houses have them, with the smaller houses. And I got all these are the same color. We're an Owens Corning Platinum vendor, just because of the volume we do and the certifications we've gone through. I can do this shingle, I get it for the same price that people are selling this for. Maybe. So automatically, you're getting this is called an architectural shingle. It looks better, but it's also higher wind rating and takes hail better. So this is what they call here. This is like a 25-year shingle. This is what they call a 30-year. But this is what we install. This is the duration. You can tell the difference. Same color. This is a 70-mile-an-hour wind rating. It's got the shadow lines. This is the one that looks cool. Now this color, just so you know, it's called driftwood or weatherwood. This is what you see most of the time. 90% of HOAs require this color. So you go in the bigger neighborhoods and the houses are a little cookie cutter, they all have this color roof. So, but the difference is, you know, when other companies install this one and then you see this roof next to it, it sets us aside. It really does. The roof, it pops. And I'm installing this when other guys are installing this. So price point, we're upgrading them for free. Is the way we like to look at it. Some of the other things we do. Who here has not seen felt paper? You know, felt the tar paper. You know, it's like black and it's like construction paper. No, that's why I figured somebody's never seen it. We don't use that. That's old school. And some people still do because it's cheap. Well, the stuff we use is synthetic. So that's on every house. So it lasts forever. When the nails go through, it actually adheres around the nails, so you don't get the leaks in the nail holes. Again, longevity.
Is that the actual
That's the underlayment.
thickness?
Yeah.
It's just like that?
Yeah.
Oh, it's really thin.
Mm-hmm.
Wow.
Yeah, try. I'll give you $100 if you can rip it. Hold on. Well, say. Look at that, you're going after it. Same thing with this.
Tear right there.
That duration shingle has these along the nail strip. Now, pass these around. This is another thing. Try to tear that, big boy. I tried that one. Now, what that does, that's what makes it 70-mile-an-hour wind rate. So the wind can pull it up. And when I meet with an adjuster, there's a specific way that.
Probably on
Video evidence. Checks in the mail, right?
Checks in the mail.
Yeah, exactly. So that the Owens Corning has that.
Sorry, I broke the paper.
We got the whole roll of the truck. That's also the stuff we use when we do emergency tarps. So when we go out to a house that's got a leak, like the house I got to go look at this afternoon, if it's leaking, I'm going to tarp it because I can't roof it before it rains tonight. So we do that standard too. So, but that sure nail strip, that's what goes along with where they shoot the nails. When I meet with an inspector, they pull the shingles up. And there's a specific way you've got to see the hole. The nails have to be through that strip and not missed it, because then there becomes the battle of pouring. It wasn't installed right. We're not going to cover it. I got to have that conversation, and that's what I'm really good at, overcoming those issues. Oh, and then something else. Little things like this. Here's the ridge and the hip. This is like the top of the house, or the sides. This is the standard look. We install high definition ridge. There's pictures here that kind of show you. Again, this is kind of geeking out on roofing, but what we like to do, we can upgrade stuff like this. It's a very nominal cost. The biggest thing we see right now is the lack of insulation and ventilation, excuse me. So you have to have the box fence you see on the back of houses, if you've ever noticed, probably not, because these little square tin boxes, you have to have one of those for every 300 square feet. Well, chances are you've got 3 on your house and you probably need 11. We see that all the time. So that's where we come in, and we'll actually install ridge vent, which goes along the ridge. You don't see it. It'll bring you up to code where your ventilation needs to be, and you don't have 11 metal boxes on the back of your roof. I'm going to keep talking because nobody else is.
Amanda's going to go.
Anyone have any questions?
I have a question. When you were doing the ridge, when you put on the new roofs, do you, what am I trying to say, the vent ridge, do you install the vent ridge, or does somebody else?
No, we do it. So yeah, so on a hip, it just come down the side like that, and on the ridge vent, we actually cut 6 inches, 3 to 3, and then it sits up about 1 inch higher, and then we lay the actual ventilation and then the shingles on top of it. Yeah, we do that.
Does that eliminate the ventilation problem that you're seeing?
100%.
Yeah.
That's what I've done in all your houses.
Yeah. So explain that, because
It
you and I know what we're talking about.
You have to have a intake and exhaust, right? Like inhale, exhale. You can't keep breathing in air and not blowing it out. And that's what happens is the shingles cook from the inside when you don't have proper ventilation. When the attic gets steamy hot and the shingles get hot, the granules fall off, and those little ceramic beads aren't just there to make the roof pretty. Well, that's part of it. They actually keep the heat away so the asphalt itself doesn't dry up, and that's what protects your roof. So when you basically need to inhale, exhale. So on a gable, or you have soffits, right, the flat part around the house, air goes in there and then goes out the top of this ridge. Well, I see it all the time where people have no exhale, they don't have any exhaust. That's what the little box vents are, or the turbines that spin. You see too often because they're kind of ugly, and people, I mean, they actually are very efficient. People just don't like the way they look. So ridge vent, whereas very non-obtrusive, just runs along the ridge. It's already a ridge. It just sits up a little higher. Some people like the way it looks better. You'll see a ton of it like in the mid-Utica area. I mean, that's all they use, because then they don't have all those boxes over it. Aesthetically, it's very appealing, and functionally, it's much better as well. But just think of it like inhale, exhale. In gable, your old style roofs that are just like this, and then you've got the slats on the edge, that's air going in, but air doesn't go in and out on those. You still need it creates a certain amount of pressure.
Heat rises, so it's going to come out the top, little pressure in the bottom.
Exactly. Yeah, the pressure is where you get the 1 in 300 rule.
Josh, how many times, I know we talked about this, but have you cleaned up somebody else's work? Like, you guys really care about doing the job right, but someone will blow in from out of town, mess it up, and how many times are you kind of fixing somebody else's work?
A lot. I mean, because there's so many. The last big storm was in 2008, but you get all these, you still get people from out of town that just go ahead, and the people that are like, man, they got high deductibles, they can't pay it. We actually have a financing option now, so people can finance it with no interest for, I think, up to like 10 years. So, again, I legally, it's insurance fraud for me to cover your deductible. There's ways we can manipulate it. Financing helps people, but the people that eat the deductibles, that's when you get the shoddy work. They're like, all right, you know what, we'll take the $1,000 hit because we're gone. We're not going to see you anyways.
Living in Tulsa, has been working with Primerica for 8.5 years. Also based out of Tulsa, focusing on life insurance. Previously, he has done. He owned a real estate investment company. His spouse is Summer. Children, he's got Ruby, who is 6, Ellie, who is 5, Hazel, who is 2, and it says 1 on the way, but I know Fitzgerald, who is very, very new. Yeah, 2 weeks. Animals, he has Max and Millie, who are both Malteses. Loves mountain biking, hiking, and traveling. Favorite food is sushi, loves all music, and favorite color is blue. Favorite movies are Braveheart, Love Actually, and Philomena. I don't know what that is. Something no one knows about him: every year on his birthday, he visits the place of his birth, which is the Cityplex Towers.
Cool.
He's proud of the fact that he didn't quit. Something nice he's done is he helped pay another kid's tuition while in college. Key to success is believe, then do the work. And the best place for us to find him work is the 3 people you care about most, and anyone who doesn't want to leave a mess for their family when they pass. Amazing.
I know I spoke just a couple weeks ago, but Brittany wasn't able to be here, so I'm actually not going to really talk about Primerica today. I'm going to just tell a story about life insurance in general and why that's so important. But it is true, on my birthday I do actually visit Cityplex Towers. It actually used to be a hospital. Those of you guys don't remember that, but one day I was driving by and I just had this thought, like, hey, that's where it all started. And now every year on my birthday, I don't let anyone come with me. You know, I have like this moment where I go up to the 4th floor and be like, wonder what that day was like, you know. So I really do that. So I'm going to read a quick story. I haven't done this in a couple of years, but it's called Dear Mom, I Wish You'd Had Life Insurance. And again, I'm not really going to be talking much about exactly why I believe we're different in the life insurance space, but just why people need life insurance in general. So, and I'll just read it in her words. So, I live in St. Petersburg, Florida. On May 8th, 2011, my mother, 2 younger sisters, and I drove to a local campsite for our annual Mother's Day camping trip. When we arrived, my mother said that her foot was bothering her. We thought maybe she had hit it on something, and we didn't think much of it. But that night, the pain got so bad, she couldn't stand it. She called 911, and an ambulance took her to a hospital. Doctors thought she had cellulitis, a blood infection, and wanted to keep her overnight to make sure the infection didn't spread. We brought her presents and balloons to the hospital to celebrate Mother's Day. At 9 p.m., visiting hours were over. We said goodbye and went home, planning to come back again when visiting hours started at 7 a.m. At 6:30 the next morning, I got a call from the hospital. When they had gone to check on her that morning, she was blue. They tried to resuscitate her for 45 minutes, but it was too late. She had died from a pulmonary embolism, a catastrophe that left me without a mom. Suddenly, at 20 years old, I was the head of the family, and I had to take care of my sisters, who were 15 and 16, on my own. My aunt came over the next day to help me deal with funeral arrangements. I wanted to bury my mother like she wished, but when we finished looking through all of her bank accounts and papers, we realized she only had $300 in the bank. She was completely behind on all of her bills and had no life insurance. I knew that our finances weren't great, but I didn't think that we could be that bad off. A proper funeral, which cost thousands, was out of the question. I hated the idea of cremation, but that's the only thing the state would pay for. We couldn't even afford to hold a reception, and all of my mother's family members never got the opportunity to gather and grieve together. I felt devastated. I didn't know where to go or what to do. Within a week of her passing, shut-off notices came for the electricity and the water. The bank called every day looking for a payment on the mortgage. Since I was only working part-time, paying these debts was out of the question. Even though I explained my situation to the bank, I was told I only had weeks before the house would be foreclosed on and our electricity and water would be cut off. My aunt and I started looking for resources to get us through the month. After work, where I did customer service for a local newspaper, or at work, I asked to get more hours. I tried to get help from the community to help us get through that month and to save the house we had lived in since 2004, but it was a lost cause. How did we get here? I grew up in a middle-class family where both of my parents always worked hard to provide. My parents got divorced in 2006, and my father was no longer in our lives. In 2010, when I was in high school, my mother got laid off from her company in a major downsizing. it was stressful because I knew we had always lived paycheck to paycheck, and I didn't know if everything was going to turn out okay. She was collecting unemployment, but by the time we went on our Mother's Day camping trip, it was about to run out and she was looking for another job. Meanwhile, I was working and taking classes towards a degree in education. And on June 1st, skipping some of this for time, but through assistance from Catholic Charities and the HUD program, we were able to move into a small 2-bedroom apartment 15 minutes away from where we used to live, near my sister's school. I had to pack up our entire family home. Since we were moving from a 3-bedroom home to a 2-bedroom apartment, I had to decide what meant the most to us as a family and what to let go. I moved through the process slowly, taking box by box to our new apartment, but I didn't move fast enough. The bank came and foreclosed on the house, and they were able to keep what they wanted. We lost a lot of memories. We also had to give our pets away. Our 2 dogs went to family members until we could afford to get them back. Our cats went to the shelter. During that time, a counselor from a local program came to our house twice a week to help us get to the grief processing. I decided to change my major to social work so I could help other young adults who are going through what I went through. And she goes on to talk about what life, the reality of what life meant without life insurance. Our average client pays $85 a month for life insurance. I don't know anyone pays that for car insurance. Maybe there are people out there that have an old car. I don't know, but generally it's cheaper than car insurance and certainly cheaper than home insurance. So if you know anybody, don't let them be in that scenario. You know, they say within 6 months of a breadwinner passing, the widower or widow loses the home. 6 months is the average. Sometimes like this, it's a couple weeks. Let us talk to them. We'd love to take care of them. It's a very meaningful process. Sometimes life insurance is one of the topics we want to avoid, but it's better 20 years too early than 10 minutes too late. So that's my talk on life insurance. Any comments, questions?
Can you send that over to me?
Yeah, I'll text it to you.
Oh, that would be good. Can you email a link?
Yeah, absolutely.
Why don't you email that link?
I'll email it to Nancy, and then Nancy can.
Yeah,
Yep.
to the group.
Yeah.
because
No.
that- That's very helpful.
Sure.
And if I have anything to say is you gotta have it. You gotta have life
There's another
insurance.
side to what you do too. You help people with new jobs and stuff. Tell
Yeah,
people.
absolutely, and that you're kind of seeing that today. If you know anyone that's looking for really good part-time income and potentially full-time if they want to work hard, send them my way. We'd be glad to talk to them. It's you get to do very meaningful work. I'm sure Michael would agree. And you meet with people and help them through some very difficult times when they come, not if they come. Everyone's going to pass away. That's not a question. But if you know somebody looking to make, like, let's say an extra $1,000 a month part-time, talk to me. We'll get them licensed and help them do that. So thank you. Yep.
On your average investment, when you do investments, what's the rate?
It's hard. It depends on the risk tolerance. So
Do you have one that's never been less than a certain amount?
Yeah, on investments. So we have a mutual fund by Invesco. They don't like us talking about rates of return, but since 1960, it's averaged 10% a year. Now, that's not guaranteed. It's not saying they'll do that every year. You can always lose money, but so another side of what we do is we help people invest and prepare for retirement. So everyone's situation is different. Some people might want very, 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 conservative investments, and some people may want the most aggressive thing possible that could kind of be the roller coaster. So we try to avoid that, but yeah, thank you. I know you guys get to hear me talk a lot, or get to hear is probably not the right. But because Brittany wasn't here this morning, I wanted to just talk about life insurance in general. So I hope that helps somebody. Send them my way, or send them to one of these guys, and we'll take care of them. So thank you.
Always good.
In regards to social media, again, like what we'll do each week in and week out is the speakers that are speaking. Probably won't do a manual again just because we just did his, but Josh will be up on Facebook, and it'd be really great if you guys could go there and like that, post and share it. And what we'll also do is we'll make a more personal post for Josh, and we'll send it out the email to everybody. Nancy got me a roster sheet of everybody's emails, and so we'll send out a more personal response. And so the Facebook post is more of a blanket thing of like just kind of almost a blanket advertisement, but the email is a little bit more specific. It's more like, I know Josh, and if you have a personal story about Josh, it's really helpful to throw that in as well. It's like, I know Josh, I've used Josh for this, and it's he does a great work, and maybe here's the example of why, but we'll kind of have a template ready to go for you, and you just take that, copy and paste it, maybe throw in some, if you want to, throw in some of your specific stuff and share that, and it's really helpful for sure. So, and another tip I wanted to throw in too is if you guys live in housing additions that have like a HOA page, like my HOA has a page that we're all really actively engaged. Like people will post things like all the time, like, do you guys know a person that mows the lawn? Do you guys know a painter? Do you guys know a roofer? Those will pop up all the time. And if you guys are on those, I really encourage you to engage in those. And when people say, you know, do you know a roofer? You throw Josh's name out there real quick, name and number. Most of the time, you don't even have to throw a blurb. It's really nice to throw a blurb, especially if you've used them, but throw a quick little thing on there. And normally one of the first posts, if you get in there and post real quickly on your HOA, they'll call that person, especially if they know you. That's really great. So they'll take your word for it. Those are great places to social media, get involved in social media and throw people's referrals out there. So thank you guys.
This is a very fun part of the meeting. This is the part of the meeting where we get to pass all the referrals, acknowledge interviews we did the past week, and thank you for closed business. So since we started with Donnie, we're going to kind of go on this side, and we'll start with Brenda Bland. No, we'll start with, she's almost ready. We'll start with, she's ready. All right, Brenda Bland.
Where's the box?
Oh, right here.
You know, I just wanted, I have some referrals, and I always have referrals, seems like every week, but I'm not sure that I was quite ready, but there we go. I always have referrals for Josh every week, and just wanted to give a shout out to Josh and to Emmanuel this morning. Emmanuel was just a godsend in my life, and I'm going to try not to cry. And so I'm going to look at Josh so I don't cry. And Josh, many of you know, works for me on a daily basis. And literally on a daily basis, he's doing something for one of the properties that I have. And he always does a great job. And, you know, he says it's not all about price. But Josh, his company, when they do roofs, I'm always kind of going, I'm amazed that it didn't cost double that. You know, and so they do have good price and good quality work. So when you need a roof or you suspect storm damage, give him a call, because he just does great work. His company's great. Anyway, referrals, always looking for referrals. Love working with you guys, and just want to give you more referrals every week. Thank you.
This is the one I called you about on the service. It'll turn into more, but we just don't know what's going on.
Thank you. I've got, let's see, thank you for money, thank you for business for Billy, and then 2 referrals. Thank you. And then for Brenda.
Yay.
1, 2, 3, 4. 4 for Brenda.
How about
5.
close business?
5.
Are you going to do close business like next week?
So this is close business, I'm sorry.
Oh, okay.
$3,830. Brenda's.
And one for Nancy.
500 on Billy, 272 on Nancy.
Thank you. Amazing.
I have a referral. It's me for Emmanuel.
Yay.
And we're meeting right after this.
Good.
Hey, Donnie.
Hey, Donnie.
Hey, I am very pleased to say that I have a thank you for closed business to Josh
Yay.
$1,500.
Great.
And I met with Liz last week, and by the way, I have a new one on the way. They said that, you know,
A new what?
a new girl, a new grandbaby.
New baby.
Oh, I'm like, okay. Do you see the shocked look on my face?
I'm sorry. Getting that right.
Yeah, man.
Last week. It's gonna be a girl, so we're all more girls. Thank you.
Just what you need, right? Females in your life. Yes.
Okay, thank you for closed business to Billy for his little baby Harley, an interview with Donnie, and then a social media post. And I will not be here next week. I am sorry, but my amazing technician William is going to come. So.
Well, thank you, Josh, for telling us more about the roofs. And from being in the construction trade, I do see all kinds of trades, good and bad. And Josh is definitely a good one. Could go back, that company, 918, has always done quality work. That's just how they started out, and they won't do anything but that. So it's great to be able to refer Josh. Have a referral for Yuri. I need to be needed. So appreciate that. And looking for more referrals.
Yay.
I did 2 social media posts. Don't forget to turn in your social media posts, guys, that when you repost what branding does or when you copy and paste, those are all social media posts. And I have 4 referrals for Michael Trupia.
Yay.
Well, I was out of town most of the week, so I didn't get a chance to talk to a whole lot of people here. But looking for referrals. And I'm thinking about getting in touch with some people in Houston and possibly starting a chapter in Houston.
Cool.
Huh?
You stand up and say what you like about the meeting.
If you're a visitor, you say.
Oh, okay. Fitting in where I get in, I guess. But I really like that you guys actually have kind of like a tight-knit trust with each other. I'm looking at starting my own chapter, so I am looking for people like that. So if you guys know people, maybe your office or something else, I mean, I definitely would like to help network with you guys. It seems like you guys really do look out for the interests of each other. So thank you guys for allowing me to come and visit.
I have thank you for closed business to Nancy Miller for $2,500 US. Wow. I had an interview with Emmanuel and with Brandon last week. Have a referral for Brandon and a referral for Josh.
Cool. Love it.
You can close mine if you brought the paperwork.
I did bring the paperwork, but I'll report that next week. Okay.
Good.
What I liked about the meeting is getting to know everybody. I guess what else I like is I guess this piece of paper that tells me what you guys' profession is. Most definitely try to find somebody to refer you guys to. Most definitely. Yeah.
Well, a couple weeks back, I went to all of the chapters, and I'm still reporting the money that's coming in from other chapters. Amy Emerson had me come out and do a bunch of furniture. $490. We're glad to have that. And I do appreciate the way this is set up because I know that the membership committee has checked out the person we know that there's no outstanding warrants and that the Better Business Bureau doesn't know you too well. And I can feel good about recommending anybody that comes into the group to my people.
Well, like he said, I also like the way y'all have this like tight-knit community and y'all just have this trust with each other. I thought it was really informational, all the things that you said.
Yeah.
I like the environment. It's good.
Thanks for coming.
It was great to visit. I've been at one other group, and I like the energy here, and definitely, I think that's the challenge for me. I've only been in the Tulsa area about 3 years, and so I'm not very familiar with a lot of things around in the area, so I have to get out and kind of figure out who's doing good quality work and have that trust. So that's going to be important in building my team. So thank you again for having me.
I like that everyone's close, like everyone said, it's close-knit. It's like almost like you're beyond the business, beyond just business with each other. Like you actually build relationships, and everyone here is the best in the trade as far as I'm concerned.
Oh yeah,
as far as
oh
I
yeah.
Right, well, yeah, the thing that actually struck me is just I'm impressed with the size of the group and how many people are willing to come out to help share business at 7 in the morning and just be the kind of close-knit community that you are. Some of you guys are referral monsters, which is crazy. I'm looking at a couple of you in particular. But it's something that I've been to a lot of referral groups. I've been to BNI and Gold Star, and so it's something that I'm very familiar with. I've been doing it for at least 8 years now. And you guys, the referral amounts that you have are astronomical. So it's something that's really impressive. It's definitely made an impression on me. So thank you for letting me come by and be a part of it today.
I like see, I've been here before, but I like seeing the way you guys find connections. So if you're able to refer somebody to one person in the group, like Josh talked about earlier, is you're able to build 2 and 3 and 4 referrals from one person if they need help on it. You guys have a lot of people, loan officer, real estate agent, and then people that work on houses, all different things about houses, carpet cleaner. So you guys can connect between each other, and then you guys have social media person, someone that helps work on computers, and you find ways to connect all those together to get a lot of different referrals from one. So I'm trying to build a group that's similar to that. We already have a few members similar, so just trying to get everyone from different professions and connect them together like that.
Awesome. Great job. Great job. All right, I've got a couple referrals and interviews. The first one is to Brandon Gaffney. I had him look at a presentation for me, so thank you, Brandon. Did an interview with Michael Trupia. You guys need to do an interview with Michael. He's awesome. So Michael, Brenda, Nancy, and I think, are the longest serving members in the group. So Scott, yeah, Billy. Well, hey, we got a lot of good people in this group. Thank you to Closed Business from Nancy for 373, and I gave a referral to Hal earlier last week. Sky, did he ever call you about needing his hat? He's building a gym. Okay, I'll talk to him today. Starting a new gym, wanted some logos on his hats and stuff. So that is it. So do we miss anybody, or is that? Josh, do you have the treasurer's report?
I don't, but I'll email everyone today.
No problem.
I have. Okay.
Awesome. You know who you are.
You know who you are, but I don't have that list with me to deal with.
Okay. Do we have any announcements or reminders, Nancy?
The member success training is this Thursday from 6 to 7:30 here. 6 p.m. to 7:30 p.m. Everybody's invited, and all the vice presidents of all the chapters, I'm hoping, will attend.
Can folks that aren't in yet, can they come to that? Like,
yes.
They want to start their own chapters?
Sure. Anybody who's wanting to start a chapter may come to that. So it's Thursday here, 6 p.m. to 7:30, and then today we're having the leadership team meeting at McGill's at 7:30. So everybody on the leadership team is invited to come to the McGill's. If you should have got an email about it, hopefully you're getting the emails. You got one, didn't you?
Yeah.
And
you said 7:30. You mean 11:30?
Okay, the lunch is 11:30. The training is Thursday here, 6 p.m. to 7:30. The lunch is at 11:30 a.m. today at McGill's. Thank you.
Remember,
I'm going to work.
all right. Remember, the focus of this week is bringing referrals for other members and bringing visitors. So homework today is to bring referrals for 2 speakers, obviously for life insurance and also for Josh Jones for anything construction, roofing. And remember, we all work for each other. So thank you guys. Have a great week, and we'll see you Tuesday. Make sure to get some interviews in this week with one another. And All right, now we're going to do the drawing. We're going to draw 2 door prizes. So we'll have 2 different visitors pick one out of here. So we'll start with David. Draw one name out, and it's the from. Choose wisely.
From, who knows?
Yeah, I don't know who that is.
Let me see. Emmanuel.
Is my writing that bad?
Wait a minute.
That is pretty bad, I will say. Sorry about that. Sorry. All right.
He got like half because I
Pick one somewhere. Okay, did you shuffle it?
No.
You know what, I'm gonna shuffle.
Shuffle.
We got some people good stack.
Yeah, right.
No favoritism in that.
Yeah.
That is pretty rough.
Well, this guy's gonna obsess, so he's very good.
There we go. Pick a card, pick any card.
We can tell.
There we go. Now, take it out of the middle.
No.
From.
Yep.
Do you want another?
From Emmanuel, okay. So,
It's a dumb door.
so I guess it kind of cancels each other out. So I get nothing. So Josh was going to give me something. It's going to be from Yuri. So I guess we'll just call that net 0. Is that how that would work?
Or do you want to draw a second instead?
Let's draw a second. I think that's a little odd.
All right. This one is from Hal.
Hal Narotsky. There we go. All right. So do you want, you get a $20 gift card to anybody in the group. Do you want Yuri or do you want Billy? I don't know what you can pay for $20, but carpet cleaning, $20 off carpet cleaning. What else you need? $20 off something Brandy can do. $20 off your mortgage.
And I can get one with life insurance?
Yeah, there you go, there you go. Yeah, one, yeah, exactly. We'll let you choose. You don't have to choose right now, but thank you guys. Make sure that we get some good referrals this week. We work for each other, and we'll see you on Tuesday. Thank you.
Can I get one? Great.
I got passed around.
Oh, did they? Maybe.
That's not yours.
Okay.